So in this verse, Lord Kapila, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is giving his instructions to his mother, Devahuti. This chapter is entitled Understanding Material Nature. And in this verse, he is saying, one has to become faithful by practicing the controlling process of the yoga system and must elevate himself to the platform of unalloyed devotional service by chanting and hearing about me. So he's stressing on the point that we must, it's not an option. We must come to the platform, we must elevate ourselves to the platform of unalloyed devotional service. And this can be achieved by the process of chanting and hearing. This word unalloyed devotional service we come across many times in Srila Prabhupada's books, in his talks, in his lectures. In those early 70s, 1970s, when ISKCON purchased their first book distribution vehicle, that was in Boston, and Hamsaduta Maharaj was the devotee who got this bus. That was the first bus that ISKCON received. And they had removed, it was a regular school bus that they purchased, and they had removed all the seats from the school bus because it was meant to be used for book distribution. And that bus was ready, and one day Prabhupada said that, let us take a ride in your bus. So all the devotees got very excited. Prabhupada has expressed his desire to take a ride in his bus. So, a lot of excitement, they all started planning, and then they realized that the seats of all the bus has been removed. So how would Prabhupada sit? And there was no time for them to put back the seats. So a devotee got one regular chair from the temple, and he put the chair inside the bus, and 4 devotees sat below on the bus. Everybody sat on the floor. They put some, chadar or something. And then Prabhupada sat on the seat, on the chair. And then 4 devotees held the 4 legs of the chair, as a support. And the bus started. And they were all going. Everybody was chanting the japa. And the driver was driving. And Prabhupada was directing the driver. He was also a devotee. And he was directing which way to go. Go straight, go left, turn right. And none of the devotees had any idea where is this bus going to. But they were confident that Prabhupada knows exactly where this bus is going, because at every road Prabhupada was directing, left, right, or straight. And nobody was bold enough to ask Prabhupada, where are you taking us? Anyway, it's a spiritual master who was leading. And then finally, the bus went to the Commonwealth Pier. When Prabhupada went to America, the first place where the ship went was to Boston, right? It stood there, it was there for some time, and then it came to New York. So Prabhupada got down. Pier is basically the dockyard where the ships come and get docked, and it's just like you go have the airports or something similar. So Prabhupada got off the bus along with all the devotees, and they started taking a walk along the dockyard. And it was like, when the ships come, they unload a lot of cargoes and, those containers and things like that. So it was a very big dockyard, and on either sides there were big warehouses belonging to different companies, different shipping companies, where different items or different things coming from different parts of the world would be stored. So Prabhupada was taking a walk, and he was generally talking about Krishna consciousness, and Prabhupada had never discussed much about his landing in America until that time. And later devotees realized that this is the place where Prabhupada first landed when he came to America. And then Prabhupada was explaining, talking something about philosophy, and then Prabhupada started talking about pure devotional service, We should all render pure devotional service. That is the best, that is the highest. We must strive to come to that platform. And then at that time, Prabhupada said, yes, pure. Pure means unalloyed. And what is the meaning of unalloy? Alloy means a metal a metal which is made out of many different metals, alloy. But unalloyed means pure. That means there is no mixture, no impurity in a sense. It is just that one original metal. And then Prabhupada pointed out while he was walking, there was one warehouse, and the name of the warehouse, that name of the company was Unalloyed Steel Company. And Prabhupada, he took his, walking stick, and then he pointed out to all the devotees. He said, just like you see, Unalloyed Steel Company. In the same way, we must practice unalloyed devotional service. It was a very important instruction that Prabhupada was giving to all his devotees. The devotees recall, to practice unalloyed devotional service should be the goal of life, because only then we can go back to Godhead. And Prabhupada gave us this important message in a very graphic way. He picked up the stick and he pointed to all the devotees. And then devotees, it was just like a teacher teaching his student on a blackboard. The teacher will take a chalk piece, write something on the board, and then point his stick and teach it to the students. And the students learn it that way. In the same way, when Prabhupada pointed out his stick to that Unalloyed Steel Company, Prabhupada was telling them, this is how you must practice Krishna consciousness, unalloyed devotional service. So, what is unalloyed devotional service? Unalloyed means unmixed, pure, not mixed with anything else, karma or this or different desires. Ahaituki means causeless, means without any motive we must be serving Krishna. With full of love. That is what is said here. Another word, mai bhavena. Bhavena means, Rupa Goswami explains, bhava means it is a preliminary stage of love of Godhead, and with that devotion, very seriously we must practice Krishna consciousness, very serious devotional service. Just like the gopis are the best example of unalloyed devotional service. They are full of love for Krishna. You know that story where Krishna had a headache and the gopis, they were so much filled with love and they were so serious that no motive, very serious, no motive. Only motive is to please Krishna. That's the only motive. That meaning no motive. When we say motive, we mean a material motive. We're all doing, our services because there is a material motive. Of course, in the initially it will be like that. But even if we have a material motive, if we are seriously engaged in devotional service, we will come to the platform of unalloyed devotional service. How serious we are in rendering devotional service decides whether you will come to the platform of unalloyed devotional service. That's why if you see this verse Prabhupada is talking unalloyed devotional service. And in the previous verse, the translation goes, it is the duty of every conditioned soul to engage his polluted consciousness, which is now attached to material enjoyment, in very serious devotional service. Not only serious devotional service, the previous verse Kapila is saying, we must render very serious devotional service. And when you render very serious devotional service, then unalloyed devotional service, you will come to that platform of unalloyed devotional service. So, that very serious devotional service, that verse says, Bhakti Yogena Tivrena. Tivrena means very serious. Akamaha sarva kamova moksha kamodharadihi tivrena bhakti yogena. Tivrena. They should, with one pointed attention. And Kapila, Lord Kapila, he's talking about serious devotional service, and he's really serious about it. How serious he is about it, how do we say? This Tivrena is the word which Prabhupada translates it as. Tivrena means very serious devotional service. In the same chapter, this chapter number 27, this is verse number 6, and in verse number 5 he said serious Tivrena, serious devotional service, and that leads, and then he talks about unalloyed devotional service in verse number 6. Then in verse number 21, he again uses the word Tivrena. The verse number 21 goes, Tivraya mai bhaktyacha Shuta sambhritaya chiram. In this verse also he says unalloyed devotional service can be attained by chanting and hearing about me. In 21 he says Tivraya mai bhaktyacha. The Supreme Personality of God had said, one can get liberation by seriously discharging devotional service unto me and thereby hearing for a long time about me or from me. And Prabhupada, in this purport, this is a long purport, we will read it as we, come to this, when we come to this point. Prabhupada repeatedly in the purport is also talking about serious devotional service. And he says serious devotional service means hearing and chanting very seriously. And then again in the next verse, verse number 22, Tivrenatma samadhina. Again the same word Tivrena is used by Kapila. So in this chapter, in one chapter alone, Lord Kapila has used the word Tivrena 3 times. And in all the 3 places, devotional service has to be performed strongly, in perfect knowledge and with transcendental bliss. So again and again Prabhupada is also writing. In the previous chapter, in chapter number, this is 27, in one of the previous chapters, chapter number 25, also Lord Kapila has used this word Tivrena. Pumsam nishreyasodaya Tivrena bhakti yogena. So this is 4 times, Lord Kapila uses 3 times in one chapter. So this is what we should be hankering after. How can I come to that platform of serious devotional service? Only then it will be possible for me to actually, attain that highest goal after bhava, prema, love of Godhead. So we should be very serious in our devotional service. And what do we mean? Okay, I'm saying serious devotional service. Meaning what? Means do it with full Krishna consciousness. And what does do it with full Krishna consciousness means? Serious devotional service we understand, but explaining it further, Prabhupada explains it in one place. Do it with full Krishna consciousness, and doing it with full Krishna consciousness means that only Krishna should be pleased and satisfied. If you're doing something, it is for the pleasure of Krishna and for no one else. So if you're doing something and we're seeing that I am getting pleasure out of it, that means I am thinking I am the doer. But I am doing it because Krishna has to be satisfied. Just like a mother does something for a small baby only out of love. She has no motive. She is not going to gain anything. She loves the child very much. Gopis loved Krishna very much. So whether Krishna is satisfied or not, if that is seen, then swanushtitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. Our prescribed duty, swanushtitasya dharmasya, dharma, duty, that we have assumed on ourselves as a prescribed duty, samsiddhir haritoshanam. If Hari is pleased or not. If what I am doing, my devotional service, my only goal is Krishna should be pleased. It is for Krishna's pleasure. And with that, if we are doing, we will attain that platform. Just like Arjuna. Initially, Arjuna did not want to fight. But then he accepted, he agreed, yes, karishye vachanam tava. Because Arjuna understood that Krishna is, he knew that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He knew that satisfying Krishna is my goal. I should be doing my duty is to satisfy him. As long as Arjuna was giving arguments that no, I do not want to fight because this, that, he gave so many reasons, he was not serious. So this should be our goal. Now, we all know if you want to get into this, realm of devotional service, and if you're really serious about devotional service, really serious about practicing it seriously, we have to accept a bona fide spiritual master. Our Krishna consciousness journey begins with that, and if we have a bona fide spiritual master, with his direction, with his inspiration, with his guidance, by following his instructions seriously, we can come to the platform of serious devotional service and then achieve unalloyed devotionals, and then achieve that platform of unalloyed devotional service. So that is very important. And now initially you may say that, I'm at the beginning stage, none of us are serious, right? We are not very serious now. I mean, we are, but in a sense we are not also, right? Because we have so many motives, this, that. So how do we begin? How do we come to that platform of serious devotional service? If we are at least, we may not be seriously rendering devotional service, but at least if we are serious to come to that platform of serious devotional service, if we are serious that yes, I must achieve it, this unalloyed devotional service, prema bhava, and then prema is so wonderful. It's like an ocean of happiness that I'm going to get. So why not become serious about it? So even if I have some material desires right now, if we are seriously pursuing it, Krishna will make an arrangement for us to become purified. That Krishna is seeing whether this devotee is serious about what he's wanting. At least some seriousness should be there. He's not seeing whether we are serious in our desire. If we are serious in our desire, if you are, even if it is motivated, just like the best example is Dhruva himself. Dhruva was very serious. I must get Krishna, although he had a material motive. The Dhruva story when he was banished from his father's, kingdom, and he was told, and mother said, Suniti, his mother said, only Krishna can give you. He was very serious to get Krishna. So we are also wanting Krishna, but we may have some motive, right? Dhruva also had some motive. But we know, even with a material motive, because Dhruva was very serious, very determined, he became successful. Actually, Narad came, and you see, when he was serious, he didn't even have a spiritual master. Because he was serious, Krishna sent Narada. The Narada, please go, he's very serious, but he doesn't know what is the way. So you see, if we are serious, Krishna will make all arrangements. He will make an arrangement to get a spiritual master. He will give us the right mantra. We have got that already. Both these things are there with us already. Now we just have to put in our endeavor, put in our effort. That is all that is required. And Narada came to test how serious Dhruva is. He came and told Dhruva, you're a small boy, 5-year-old. Why are you practicing austerity? Austerity for a 5-year-old? No, this is not done. You should go and play with your friends. And why are you so hurt if your mother, after all, she's also your stepmother. Now, why are you so hurt about this? You should be beyond all this, dualities of happiness and distress. And I don't think you will be able to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A 5-year-old boy trying to satisfy the Supreme Lord, it's not so easy. All these things Narada told him. But Dhruva was so serious. Dhruva said, my dear Narada, Muni, I'm only interested in getting Krishna. If you can tell me a way, an honest way to get Krishna, then please tell me. I know your instructions are very nice. Small boy should not be performing austerity. I should be free from the dualities of happiness and distress. Why am I so perturbed by my stepmother's and my father's decision? All that is very nice. But I want Krishna right now. Please tell me if it is possible for you to give me Krishna. See how serious he was. And then we know the whole story, and Dhruva got Krishna. So actually, Narad Muni was actually very proud to have a devote, and then Dhruva got Krishna, and then we know the whole story that Krishna came and he performed a lot of austerity. Even after that, he was so serious. He ate fruits once in 3 days. And then after that, that was the first month. After the first month, he started eating leaves, dry leaves, once in 6 days. Third month, he was drinking water once in 9 days. And in fourth month, he had practiced controlling the breathing system. It's mentioned here, Yamadibhir. He practiced controlling the breathing system. He was breathing once in 12 days. And then by fifth and sixth month, he had achieved perfection. So you see, that small boy, Dhruva, of course, this is a story of that, but finally it was for Krishna, for getting Krishna. Even with a material motive, he practiced such severe austerities. So for us to practice devotional service, serious devotional service is not at all difficult. Because for us, such serious austerities are not there at all. Our austerities are so simple. The mantra is so simple. The environment is so conducive. So if Dhruva can do it, every one of us can do it. Narad Muni was very proud to have a disciple like Dhruva, because he said Dhruva went back to Godhead in just one lifetime, although he had a material motive. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada quotes Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he says that just like Dhruva went back to Godhead in one lifetime, in the same way, it is possible for every devotee, for every disciple, actually to go back to Godhead in one lifetime. It is very much possible, and this should be the goal of every disciple. Every disciple can attain this. It is not at all difficult. And what is that serious devotional service? As it is said here, that we have to simply engage in hearing and chanting seriously, do our service seriously, and know that yes, Krishna is Krishna should be satisfied. I should not be doing it with a view to gratify my senses or to gain some name and fame for my service. No. Although it is there, that's why serious hearing and chanting, that is what this verse says. One must elevate himself to the platform of unalloyed devotional service by chanting and hearing about me. So although our service may be motivated, we may have some anarthas, but if we are serious in our hearing and chanting, we will get freed. And how to become serious? This is a nice passage Prabhupada writes, I will read. In every practice that we do, there is some endeavor. And the ultimate endeavor is the endeavor to reach the highest perfectional stage of devotional service. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that one should try to attain the highest goal, which cannot be attained either in the higher or the lower planetary system. The idea is that material happiness and misery are available in all planetary system in course of time. But the highest achievement, devotional service, cannot be attained anywhere without endeavor. The highest position, going back to the spiritual world, cannot be attained simply without any endeavor. Therefore, in the Brihad Naradiya Purana, it is said that one who is serious about understanding the highest perfectional stage of devotional service can become successful in everything. One who is serious to understand, to reach the highest devotional platform, can become successful in everything. How? simply by his endeavor. So this is a very important instruction that we have to endeavor. Now this is left to us. We have everything with us. We know what we have to do. Now we have to endeavor. We have to do it seriously. We must remember that during like chanting and hearing, every day we must hear Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya is serious devotional service. Harer Nama Anukirtanam is serious devotional service. So when we are chanting and hearing chanting, we must be freed from those 10 offenses. While chanting, only chanting little loudly, chanting clearly, and hearing attentively. Our mind during chanting should only be on chanting. Although it will come, the different thoughts will come, but it's like Prabhupada says, it's a tug of war that is going on every day during the chanting time. Tug of war. Tug of war means there are two personalities. Who are the two personalities? Two people, tug of war means. One is your chanting, you, and the other side is your mind. So it's a tug of war going on, but just hold on to the rope and keep to it, and one day you will be victorious. Maya will be defeated. Maya will be conquered. So this is our duty. We have to be very serious, and this is the most important duty. It's like, we know if the duty is very important, we must be seriously doing it. We all have different duties. And how important the duty is what decides how serious I'm going to be, how seriously I'm going to devote myself to that duty. So how important this duty is of chanting Hare Krishna, Prabhupada says in his different places when he's talking about chanting Hare Krishna, he says, chanting Hare Krishna is our occupational duty. Occupational duty means this is our occupation. We are all meant the Hare Krishnas. Of course, we have other things also, but our occupational duty means the main duty is chanting Hare Krishna. Then he says in another place, chanting Hare Krishna is our prime duty. Yet in another place, it is our main duty. In another place, this is our specific duty. Chanting Hare Krishna seriously. And then finally he says, this is our only duty. So you see, these are the words that Prabhupada uses to stress how important it is for us to chant Hare Krishna nicely. If we do this, we are actually transcending, we are raising higher and higher, we're getting into that realm of serious devotional service, and by this we can attain that platform, bhava and then prema, unalloyed devotional service. So this is what Lord Kapila is saying here. We must elevate ourselves to the platform of unalloyed devotional service by chanting and hearing about me, about Krishna. We'll end here. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.